Hey, what's going on? What's happening? What's going on, ladies and gentlemen? Hey, this is Eric McKinley, and I'm the Director of Program Development of National Business Builders. Happy Friday. Happy uh, Financial Freedom Friday. Every day is a day to build wealth, but today, especially, we're going to be talking about how you can actually build wealth. So, do me a favor as you jump on, drop your city and state, like it, share it, and tag someone. And if this happens to make sense to you, definitely leave me a comment or comment to the person uh, that actually tagged you in this. So what I'm doing right now, I'm gonna go ahead and share this with a couple of groups because this is a hot topic, especially in the Black community, in any impoverished community. Um, but I want to share this because I want to make sure that people understand, at least from my perspective, what they're talking about. Because there's a lot of conversations going on about this specific topic. So thanks for jumping on, Miss Ladrika Winston from Clarksburg, Maryland. Please don't forget to share. I know you're probably still doing some duties. You say you was getting off a little later, but appreciate you jumping on right now. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Um, if you jump on, like I said, do me a favor, drop your city and your state, like it, share it, and tag someone. Let me know. Let me know where you're seeing this from. Also, if you don't mind, if it makes sense to you, share it with somebody because there's nothing that we're going to talk about that cannot be shared with the public. This is an informational. This is an informational platform, an educational platform, and if you want to be educated, if you want to be informed, this is definitely the place for it. So once again, like I said, if you're just jumping on, my name is Eric McKinley. I'm the director of program development of National Business Builders, and we specialize in business development, focusing in the area of building businesses, finances, man, personal finances, business finances. We specialize in financial development all the way around, and this topic tonight is going to touch home for a lot of people. Some people are not going to want to probably look at this or look at what I'm doing after this, but I'm going to this information is going to it's going to wake some people up. Hopefully, it's going to wake some people up. So um, let me go ahead and tag a couple of people in the post. One more thing. Let me see. Give me a second. Hope everybody had a productive day today. Hope everybody's doing well. And like I said, this information is not intended to upset, belittle anybody, but it's definitely intended to make you aware of what's going on and some of the things that we say out of our mouths, some of the things that we actually speak into existence and not even knowing it. You know, we talk about things all the time, but many of us don't even know that we're speaking a lot of things into existence. So tonight, for those of you who jump on and see this, maybe even at a later date, we're going to be talking about economic empowerment without economic development. That's a topic for you. Economic empowerment without economic development. And why am I talking about that? What does that mean? Well, you can't have any economic empowerment without economic development. You can't have you can't build a house and just start with the roof or start with the sides. You can't just put a door up. You gotta start with the foundation. Excuse me. Oftentimes, people are wanting to provide economic empowerment, but they want to get started in the middle. So we got Miss Bertha Winston out the DMV. Miss Bertha Winston is a is a business owner. She's actually an entrepreneur. She has several businesses. She's in business with her family. That's generational right there. And we're talking about economic empowerment, Miss Bertha.
Yeah.
It ain't just a black thing. Hey, I'm telling you, somebody gonna get mad at me. You know,
All lives matter.
I love my people, but economic empowerment is an impoverished thing.
It is. It really is.
It's about people who lack finances,
Yeah.
lack financial resources.
Resources. Yeah.
Thank you. Financial resources, and the black population of this country makes up 13% of the population.
Yeah.
So it ain't just about black folks.
No.
However, I'm pro.
There's poor people in all races.
Hey, there's poor people in all races. But I just want right now. I want black people to understand that it ain't just about black people. Because if we make up 13% of the country, there's another 87% on the other side of that.
When you need money, don't have no race.
Money ain't got no color. So we all have to understand about this economic empowerment. Yeah. So let me sit here and share something with you.
Yeah. That's a good topic.
You like that?
I love it.
I was scratching the hole in my head, Miss Bertha. I ain't lying.
Yeah, that's good. We need to be empowered financially. You know, we really do, because we are not. You know, and we feel that you know, somebody's holding you back and all this stuff. That's a bunch of foolishness.
Well, let's touch that for a minute.
Yeah.
So I'm talking to my wife, and I'm 48. My grandmother, my mom and dad, they're in the 70s, 72 and 73 respectively. My grandmother would have been, and I believe she was born in 1913.
Wow.
Which means, and she passed away when I was 22. So that means she would have been 108 years young. Now I want y'all to understand something. My grandmother in 1913, that means 50 years before that, slavery had just been abolished. So it wasn't that long ago. You understand where I'm going, Ms. Bertha, because I know your age. It wasn't that long ago. So I can understand when people say, because, you know, we could talk about mental abuse. We can talk about the planting seeds, and you know, we could talk about those things, but it can take a while when somebody's been abused.
Yeah.
Shake that thing off, because that abuse is passed down from generation to generation, from person to person, passed down. So what we're going to have to do is not say it never happened. We're going to have to say, hey, listen, it stops now.
There you go.
We got to say it stops now.
Yeah.
Because if it stops now, then I'm not going to be bitter with my son. And my son's not going to fall into the whole idea of this person or that race is holding me back.
Well, you know, like you were saying, you know, with the age, you know, I grew up on a farm, you know, where they were sharecropping. You know, you had to work. Well, we didn't really have to work for the man, as they call it. Yeah. But we did, you know. So I grew up chopping cotton and shaking peanuts and all that kind of stuff. I mean, that was, you know, we worked from sun up to sun down for $2 a day in the hot sun. You know, when I was growing up, we didn't go to school unless it rained. We had to work.
Wow. So, did y'all hear that? They didn't go to school
unless it rained.
Because when it rained, you couldn't be out there.
You couldn't be out in the field.
In the field.
I mean, so you come kind of late with me about work.
You missed me with it, huh?
Because I was working since I was knee high to, you know. I mean, and that, you know, so I could have took that and said, well, you know, I grew up in the farm and this and that, and, you know, and I'm not going to do nothing. And I, you know, oh no, I wanted to make better, you know, for my life and my children, because I know what being poor is, and I know what not having is. When you work for $2 a day, that's $10 a week. $10 a week. Now they grabbing over $15 an hour.
Well, you know what you're talking about is the epitome and everything we're talking about as far as economic empowerment.
Yes. Yes.
Economic empowerment. You know, y'all were not empowered.
No,
My parents were not empowered.
No.
Their parents, your parents were not empowered.
Exactly.
But that's not so now.
No. So you don't look back and say, well, you know, I came up in, you know, in poverty and blase and blase. Oh no. I made it a point that I was going to make something out of my life.
now there's still poor people.
Yeah.
And there are people coming up in less than desirable situations.
Yes. Yes. Yes.
But even now, you know, there's ghettos and there's neighborhoods that are doing well.
Yeah.
But even now, when you look back on it, like you said, even at $12, $15 an hour, is you can do so much more with it.
Yeah.
Now,
yeah.
I'm not taking away from people's problems. I don't want anybody to think that.
No.
What I'm saying is when you start talking about building, improving, and educating, it cannot stop. It cannot start from the top down. It has to start from the ground up. I need everybody to understand this. We're building a house, and you cannot build a house by constructing the roof first and trying to put it on the ground.
Gotta have a foundation.
Gotta have a foundation.
Gotta have a foundation.
We got
a strong foundation.
A strong foundation. We got Miss Valerie Norfolk that's jumped on. Thanks for jumping on out of St. Louis. And of course, Sean, I recognize Sean already. But I want you to understand something. We can complain all day long and a part of tomorrow. But only thing that's going to change is when we change. Yes. So our mindsets have to be changed.
That's true.
You know, I think about a lot of the I think about a lot of the civil rights activists.
Yeah.
And I go back and I really look at it and read it. And at that time, a lot of the civil rights activists thought that they were doing what was best.
Right.
But they didn't need equal. They needed economics.
Yes. 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 Yes.
We needed money. You needed opportunities. You needed land. You needed resources. You needed assets.
Yes. Yes.
I mean, who cares if I'm playing on a 9-hole golf course and somebody's playing on an 18-hole golf course? I can care less.
That's right.
But if I have my acreage where I can actually grow my crops, raise my family, have a community.
Oh yeah.
Now we can talk about something. See, there's a lot of folks out there talking about economic empowerment. They talking about building up the Black Wall Street again.
Yeah, yeah.
And there's nothing wrong with that.
Yeah.
There's nothing wrong with being pro your race, your lineage, your history. But you first must know your history.
That's true. Yep.
You have to know your history. And once again, I will say this, and I'm not going to stop saying it. You can't build from the top down.
Nope.
You got to build from the ground up, which means before you can become economically empowered, you got to have some economic development.
Yes. Yes. Yes.
And that economic development is going to come with some education.
Oh, yes.
Some financial education.
Yes. All kinds of education.
All kinds of education. You can't just be book smart. You can't be street smart. You have to be well-rounded.
Yes, you do.
So we talk about communities, but there is no community where there's no ownership. I need y'all to understand that there's no community where there's no ownership. So I got a couple of slides, like three. Yeah. Few slides, like three. So what I want to do is I'm going to go ahead and share the screen, Ms. Bertha, and then I want you to just go ahead and jump in. I'm gonna give this one to you because I know. Well, I mean, you came right in like, you know, this is it, you know, because this is where we at.
Yeah.
Let me go back. I apologize, y'all. Yeah. So economic empowerment without economic development. What do y'all know about that? You can't have it.
Cannot.
It can't work like that.
They go together.
They go together. One has to support the other. But there's a method. There's a method to the madness.
Yeah.
So I saw a lot of definitions, okay,
Mm-hmm.
but this one kind of stuck out.
Okay.
Economic empowerment is the capacity of
Mm-hmm.
both men and women to
Mm-hmm.
participate in, contribute to, and benefit from growth processes in ways that recognize, and that should be a Z,
Mm-hmm.
the value of their contributions, respect their dignity, and make it possible to negotiate a fairer distribution of benefits of growth. All that aside, we got to have an equal distribution of land,
Yeah.
of wealth, of educational resources,
Mm-hmm.
of medical resources, of financial resources. You know, we got to have a equal distribution of that.
Mm-hmm.
And that's what this means. This is a great definition, but it's over a lot of people's heads.
Yeah. Yeah.
What happens is this: if I am going to participate in this world, then I have to have something to participate for and with. Now, I understand America's the land of the free and the home of the brave. I get it. And
Mm-hmm.
some people got a raw deal.
Mm-hmm.
And those people that got a raw deal, many of them passed a lot of that information down to us instead of it making us better, it made us bitter.
Yeah.
Well, we have to be educated on our history
Mm-hmm.
so we can understand what it is we should be fighting for.
Mm-hmm.
Equality is never going to happen. And I'm going to tell you why, Miss Bertha. Because it's a race.
Mm-hmm.
Like Dr. Claude Johnson said, it's a race.
It is.
Stop worrying about equality as far as being equal civilly and start talking about economic empowerment, because
Mm-hmm.
now you're breaking down families.
Mm-hmm.
See, my family, in order for me to raise a family, I got to have some resources.
Mm-hmm.
Come on, man, I can't be no sharecropper in 2021.
Hello.
But there are some people, unfortunately, that are literally sharecropping.
Mm-hmm.
Now, whether they're living paycheck to paycheck because they don't understand, whether they live in paycheck to paycheck because there's no other opportunities, or whether they live in paycheck to paycheck because they're rejecting knowledge, still happening in 2021.
Well, most sharecroppers don't get paid to the end of the season.
They'll get to the end of the season.
Yeah.
And people don't know what sharecropping means. Sharecropping is basically indentured servitude.
Yeah, it's like almost you could call it slavery.
Yes, it's indentured. So they did away with the part of the slavery.
Yeah.
You may be living on the land,
Yeah.
living in the house,
Yeah.
having enough to eat,
That's it.
having the basic necessities,
And working for the man.
to go out there and plant those fields
Yes.
and get those harvests.
Yeah, and then he pay you at the end of the season.
He pay at the end of the season. And that money,
That's all you get
those monies are supposed to last you
to the next season.
Come on. So we need to understand this whole economic empowerment thing before we start throwing words all out there. Because to me, Miss Bertha, it's just me. To me, it's just too many people out there throwing phrases and words out there.
Mm-hmm.
That's just my opinion.
And you know, and people don't really know about that. You know, you have to have experienced it to know. You know, and I know because I grew up in it.
Now that could make you real bitter.
Yeah.
That can make you very untrusting. That can make you very standoffish to people.
Prejudice.
Very prejudiced, very hateful. That can make you a bad person.
Yeah.
Make you have a bad personality.
That's right. Exactly.
So that's where the perspective comes in.
But you have to make a decision that is not going to be who you are. You have to make a decision that was then, this is now.
So why we keep holding on to the same old stuff?
That's right.
You know, I'm not saying that as and we're not the only. So I need everybody to understand it. So Black people are not the only people who are behind economically.
No.
There are a lot of people who are behind economically. However, a lot of races of people are behind economically. However, because we make up the smallest percent, one of the smallest percentages, and a lot of things are magnified. Remember, you watching Fox News, you watching CNN, you watching all these other news channels, and the media is personifying a lot of things that are really not true.
That is not true. Don't
And
believe it.
it's not
Don't believe it.
it's not relevant.
Don't believe it.
So, you got to know your history and you got to know your facts.
A lot of lies.
What is economic development? It's the process by which the economic well-being and the quality of life of a nation, a region, a local community, or an individual or family are improved according to the targeted goals and objectives. What does that mean? That means basically there ain't no community without no ownership.
Mm-mm.
Individuals, families, if they're not improving due to the government or any other organization, if it's only one-sided, then there is no economic development. That's not economic development.
Mm-mm.
Being one, see, people get mad and they get upset about wealthy people.
Yeah,
they get upset about rich people. Okay.
Yeah.
And I've heard this time and time again. Rich people, wealthy people don't share information. No, that's not true.
Mm-mm.
People who are poor don't listen.
Say that again.
People, because they're focused on, many of them are focused on their problems instead of focusing on possible solutions.
Exactly.
And then the other thing is, I had a conversation with a customer that came in today.
Mm-hmm.
See, we're worried about who the messenger is instead of paying attention to the message.
Mm-hmm.
Here we know names like Mark Zuckerberg, Warren Buffett, Mark Cuban.
Yeah.
We know these names, Bill Gates. We know these names, but these people are not coming into your household.
Mm-mm.
These wealthy, famous people ain't coming into your household. This is it.
Yeah.
This is what y'all gonna get.
Mm-hmm.
That's right. This platform or platforms like these and people like these are going to be the ones that's going to be educating and coming into your living room and coming into your household saying, hey, listen, we can do this if we have the right information to make the right decision.
Right.
But what oftentimes what happens is we reject knowledge. We reject knowledge because of who it's coming from.
Yeah.
I don't want to hear what you got to say, Miss Bertha. You don't understand me.
Yeah.
You don't have no idea what I'm going through in 2021.
Mm-hmm.
There's no way. Or check this out. Even the Bible says that even a man, even a poor man can be wise.
Yeah.
And now I'm paraphrasing, but even a poor man can be wise. So even if I haven't achieved the goals that you think I should achieve to your level of what you think success is, you ain't listening to what I'm saying, then guess what? You rejecting knowledge.
Oh, you took the words out of my mouth. That's the same thing I had. I was getting ready to say. You reject the knowledge.
We're rejecting knowledge. Once again, we can't build from the ground from the top down.
Nope.
We have to build from the ground up, which means we need a foundation. We need a foundation. I got one more, Ms. Bertha.
Okay.
And we're gonna wrap this thing up. If y'all out there listening, if y'all looking, y'all just jumping on, we're talking about economic empowerment without economic development. Okay. So I said one, we got two more. Why is economic empowerment so important? Because it allows households to make their own decisions around making investments in health and education. See, those are the resources, right?
Mm-hmm.
And taking risks in order to increase their income. There is also some evidence that economic empowerment can strengthen vulnerable groups and their participation in decision making. See, if you don't have a play, or if you don't have an active role in your own decisions, you ain't being empowered at all. You're being told what to do, and you're feeling like there's no way out.
Yep.
That's why economic empowerment is so important, because it allows us to make informed decisions.
Yep.
So when you think about this, here's the foundation. So I hear a lot of people all the time, Ms. Bertha, saying, hey, we got to build this, we got to build that. Let's go.
Mm-hmm.
And ain't nobody got education.
That's right. You're right about that.
Ain't nobody. So we're going to all form a cooperative. And 10 of us, 20 of us are going to put our money together,
Mm-hmm.
and we're gonna start buying buildings in neighborhoods and turn it back into communities.
Mm-hmm.
And the first question of the least educated person or personality, the first question is, who's going to be in charge?
That's it.
Well, definitely not you, because you have no education in the matter.
Yeah.
And
right.
People get upset about that. But we have to form some type of education. See, there's no economic empowerment without economic development.
Mm-hmm.
There's no economic development without financial education.
Mm-hmm.
If financial education allows families to become informed so they can make those decisions,
mm-hmm.
so they can now finally make those decisions.
Yep.
And what happens is now an informed father, an informed mother can now make informed decisions based off of their children, or based off of making the future decisions for their family,
mm-hmm.
their children and their grandchildren.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
It's a lot of complaining going on, Miss Bertha. We talked about this today. Listen, we got to start holding people accountable.
That's true. You're right.
We have to start, if we're going to build together,
want
to become economically empowered, then we have to start holding each other accountable.
Mm-hmm. That's a good key point there, because with our traditional business, I know about cash flow manager, but they don't. So every month they have to give me a statement of all the expenses and all that come in, so I could do the cash flow manager. I stress to them, we have to keep good records. We have to document.
Documentation beats conversation.
Documentation. And that's the hardest thing to get them to see. But I demand it.
Well, here's where the disconnect is, Ms. Bertha. What if you just say you ain't doing it no more?
Right.
Or what if you sell your part of the business?
Right.
Retire.
Right.
Now we got to go and find someone who's going to keep books.
Yeah.
Now here's the problem. You don't know if they're doing it right or not.
Right.
See, because it's not a priority to us, because it's not important to us, or because someone else is doing it, then we think everything is cool, everything's copacetic. But we have,
like you always say, when you know better, you do better.
Yeah, you got that ability to do better. So it's not that we should know everything, but we should know a little bit about a lot of stuff.
Right. But and that's the good part of being in business. Everybody don't have the same gift when it comes to business. So the part that you know and the part that you're educated on, you stress that and you control that.
Yeah.
That's what I do. That's what I know. That's what I've been educated on. Yeah. And I control it because I know it works.
But if not, if you don't control it, it's going to control you.
That's it. And they don't understand that. But you ain't got to understand it. Just do what I say. Trust me.
See, here's the thing, though. This is where the education, this is where the empowerment comes.
Mm-hmm.
The empowerment comes with education.
Yes.
That's it. That's how to say. The empowerment comes with it, because a person who is educated is a person who is empowered.
That's it. And when you know that you know that you know,
nobody can sway you. Nobody can change your mind. Nobody can.
This is what got to be done, and we got to do it.
They can't tell you. They can't sell you no wooden nickels. None of that stuff. But so this is where we at, y'all. I want everybody to understand the importance of it. I'm stressing that there is no economic empowerment without economic development. That economic development includes and involves the education.
Yes. Yeah.
So many of us are trying to build from the top down. We got to stop building from the top down and start holding each other accountable and build a strong foundation from the ground up,
Mm-hmm.
or else it's
Mm-hmm.
gonna fail.
Yeah,
Miss
it
Burke,
is.
what you got? What you got for your audience that they're listening to this and they're complaining? They're talking about, oh, I'm being held back, and
Mhm.
it's so hard, and you already spoke on some of your experiences, but you
Mhm.
may need to share that one more time, man, because we
Yeah, like I say, I grew up on the farm, sharecropping. Only time I went to school was when it rained, because you couldn't go out in the field and work in the rain. But we would leave home like 7 o'clock in the morning, come home for lunch for an hour, go back, work to 6 o'clock. $2 a day you know how hot it is in the hot sun,
in the hot heat.
high heat, not in the shade,
Yeah,
in the high heat. So you have to make a decision that you're not going to let your past stumble your future.
yeah,
You just can't look back and say, well, oh, okay, that's where I was. That was, like I say, that was then. This is now. I've been educated. And it made me appreciate work, because the work ethics was there.
yeah,
So I didn't have to worry about learning, okay, am I going to work or am I not going to work? All I knew was work, you know. So when I finished high school, I wasn't going to college. I just decided I was going to work, you know. So you have to make a decision about your future. Can't nobody make that decision but you. You have to make a decision. What happened in the past is in the past. You got to think about what's happening in the future. And you got to take your life from where it was and keep it moving. Don't look back. Just keep going. I'm not looking back. It happened. Hey, it
and
taught me some things.
it was unfortunate.
It was.
But
Wasn't nothing I could do about it.
yeah, well, see, you know what? Everything is gonna work out just the way God wants it to work out, and we can harp on things, and I catch myself a lot thinking about things that happened to me or things that happened in my past
Yeah.
via military and things like that.
Yeah.
That's
Yeah.
my
Oh, yeah.
experience.
Yeah.
And what people don't understand is that, see, if you haven't walked a mile in my shoes, if you ain't walked 2 feet in my,
Hey.
the,
Hey.
the things that I experienced, seen, and I had to do,
Yeah.
um, a lot of stuff, a lot of people ain't gonna come back from.
No. That's true. That's
But
true.
we here.
we here. We here now. So hey.
So we gotta think in order for our seeds
Yeah.
not to fall victim to
Hmm.
what our ancestors
Ancestors. Yeah.
fell victim to,
Yeah.
then we have to become financially educated,
Yeah.
learn how to develop economically,
Yeah.
and then we can build and grow economically,
Yeah.
be empowered
And
economically.
yeah. And and
Yeah,
financially.
and finance. I think what's happening is we're building backwards
Yeah, that's possible.
because we're in a society that deals with microwaves,
Oh yes.
and we
Oh
want it right
yes.
now,
Yes,
and we don't
exactly.
have time.
We don't.
Well, you didn't have time.
Yeah. I
Nobody.
mean, we didn't get here overnight either.
Yeah, yeah. So I think for every viewer out there and every listener, I want you to consider, as you go back and possibly look at this. This is not a jab at anybody.
No, no.
This is not to belittle any situation. This is just to remind each and every one of us, to include myself, that economic empowerment doesn't happen overnight,
No.
especially when there is no education.
Yeah. Yeah.
We have to stop building out of order.
Right.
We have to stop building out of order. People are refusing and rejecting financial education because they think they know how to manage a checkbook. That ain't financial education.
No.
People are concerned about credit, or they're concerned about one or two things, and not understanding that it's a plethora of things. So we have to be well-rounded. We have to be rooted and grounded, and we have to have a strong foundational uh, uh, beginning. So when it's time to pass this baton on to the next generation,
Yeah.
they'll be ready and they can
Yeah.
make better informed decisions. So we
And
got
we gotta stop living above our means.
well, yeah,
We really
okay.
do.
That's something else. See, now I
We
wasn't gonna
really
say
do.
anything. I wasn't gonna say anything,
Oh
but
yeah, we do.
I'm gonna tell you the money that we pay for a pair of shoes, or to the ladies and some men now for a hairpiece,
Yeah.
is something that we can use to invest
Yeah. Yeah.
to make our money multiply.
That's right.
I get it. Nobody wants to be told what to do with their money, but people are telling you what to do with your money every day. You're just making bad decisions.
Yeah. Exactly.
Commercials are telling you what
Exactly.
to do with your money every day.
Exactly.
So those are some things that you got to think about. Hey, it's a little past 8:30. We're gonna go ahead and cancel this thing, Miss Bertha. Hey,
All right.
I
Sounds good to
appreciate
me.
you. I appreciate you as always jumping on Miss Bertha Winston out the DMV. She out there running things with her daughters and her grandkids, and she and her friends. She keeping them in line. And
Yeah.
it's great to have people. It's great to have people to that understands that you're looking to build generational wealth. Um,
Yes.
but
Exactly. And
it,
I'm excited about that. And um, God has just blessed us. I was over there today, waiting on the internet and had some walkthroughs, and man, they walked in there and they was like blown.
I know they were blown away.
They were blown.
I know they were.
When you come down and you look outside, see, for real.
Yeah,
But
I know
when you get inside, there's a whole
it's
nother
like
story.
a whole world, a whole different world. But
So
y'all are doing something great there, in the area that you're in.
yeah, yeah,
You're going to make people step up to the plate. You're
yes.
going to
And
make
what's good about it, they are building that area up.
yeah.
They building it up. So we got in on the ground floor. And there we go. We got in on the ground floor
On floor.
because now they building, and it's gonna explode.
That is something that a lot of us don't want to do, but we're
Yeah,
going to have to remember that it takes time. We're going to have to build something strong and solid,
yeah,
and that way, as we grow higher, we won't trip, stumble, or fall, or get knocked down because
right,
of our foundation. So,
exactly. And I
um,
appreciate you too. Y'all doing a great work,
well,
really. You
thank you.
know, I
We can
mean,
get it in.
yeah, I mean, and we complement each other, and that's what's great. That's what makes me excited, like-minded. You know,
Iron
and
sharpens
you
iron.
you want to be around like-minded people that are got your vision and you got their vision.
Yeah.
You
You
know,
and this is something for people to hear.
yeah,
If you're not like-minded in a positive way, it's going to be very challenging for you to attach yourself to somebody who going up.
yeah, it is. It is. You have to leave some people behind. Hey, I've left some people behind me. Later, see y'all later.
I tried to
Well,
I tried to share that. I tried to share that earlier this week.
yeah, you got to cut some people loose.
Listen,
Everybody don't have your vision.
we got to stop making excuses for people.
Yeah.
We're grown adults.
Yes.
We got to stop making excuses. We know what the plan is.
Yes.
Here's the play. If you're not going to be a part of the play, that means that
Yes.
you're going to be on the sideline. That's
So
it.
pursue your goals. Don't let nobody stop you. If God gave it to you, hey, He have a plan. Follow the plan. Follow your goals. Follow your desires, and He got you.
So, hey, listen, this is Miss Bertha Winston out of DMV and Eric McKinley out of South Carolina, Columbia, South Carolina. Like I always say, ladies and gentlemen, when you know better, that's when you have the ability to do better. And the only knowledge that's powerful is properly applied knowledge. Like it, share it, and tag someone. And listen, we would love to see you at the top.
Okay, y'all. Too many people struggling at the bottom. We on our way to the top.
Come on.
Peace out. Hey.
It's just a step. It's just a step. In front of the other. All right.
Yes. All right. Give my love to Dorothy.
I will. Tell
All
me
right.
said hi. Y'all be blessed.
Okay, see you.
Peace.